Mini auctions tend to be mega paydays for all-rounders in the IPL. Back in 2015, Yuvraj Singh fetched 16 crore rupees, and that stayed a record for several years until it was broken multiple times over in the last two mini auctions. In 2021, we saw Chris Morris receive 16.25 crore rupees as the winning bid from Rajasthan. But then in 2023, that mark was either touched or breached thrice. There was Ben Stokes at 16.25, there was Cameron Green at over 17, and there was Sam Curran, the record holder, at 18.5 crore rupees. We've also seen that domestic all-rounders at times get whirlwind bids at mini auctions. Think Krishnappa Gautam in 2021 or Pawan Negi back in 2016. But there is one difference in the IPL now, the introduction of the impact sub. We already saw the impact of this new rule in IPL 2023, where domestic all-rounders, especially the bits and pieces type, didn't get as much playing time as they used to earlier. So now that we are having the first auction since the advent of this rule, it's a question we'll have an eye out on. Has the valuation of all-rounders gone down in the IPL? The next point of interest for us is how much of a bearing recency bias will have on proceedings. What say will World Cup performances have in making millionaires at this auction? There are 3 Australian World Cup winners potentially in line for the big bucks. There's Travis Head, there's Mitchell Starc, there's Pat Cummins. Then you have in Rachin Ravindra, the breakout star of the 2023 ODI World Cup. Someone like Azmatullah Omarzai as well. These might be players teams are interested in. But is there a direct bearing in how World Cup performances translate into IPL riches? There is of late. Just last year, you saw Sam Curran become the IPL's all-time record buy, and that had come just a month after he'd been player of the tournament at England's title-winning campaign at the 2022 T20 World Cup. The year before that, we'd seen something similar happen with the likes of Mitchell Marsh and Josh Hazlewood, who months after Australia's title win in 2021 had received big paydays at the 2022 mega auction. But what we have to factor in is that this, of course, was an ODI World Cup. It's a different format. So for the likes of Head or Ravindra, they are hoping to channel what happened with Sheldon Cottrell or an Alex Carey back in 2019. Both of them had successful 2019 World Cups, which a few months later translated into big money ahead of the 2020 IPL auction. Question number 3 is which team will be the biggest spender at this auction? Who will make the biggest buy? Now you see 4 teams entering this auction with upwards of 30 crore remaining in their purse. Of them, KKR might find it tough to go really big because they only have 13 players in their squad right now. But now look at the other 3. Gujarat Titans come in with nearly 40 crore at their disposal and a very clear gap, a Hardik Pandya-sized gap to cover. So it'll be no surprise if they pull out all the stops to go for that big ticket all-rounder. And then there's an interesting case for Chennai Super Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad as well. Opposite ends of the points table last season, but both of them enter with 19 players retained, most of a potential 11 already in place, and upwards of 30 crore to shell out. What that means is that they have the muscle to bid big. And that takes us to the question on everyone's mind. Will we see the most expensive buy ever at an IPL auction? Between GT, CSK, SRH alone, there's more than 100 crore worth of purse remaining, with a maximum of 20 player slots to fill for those 3 teams combined. That's 5 crore on average per player. But that's before you factor in that not all teams go for a roster of 25. There are so many base price buys. Why am I spewing all these numbers? Because purchasing power is directly proportional to record bids at IPL auctions. Look at last season, where Punjab entered with 32 crore, but they wanted an all-rounder, one clear gap in their team, and they filled it with 18.5 crore rupees for Sam Curran. That ties in quite neatly with the scenario a GT finds themselves in right now, or even a CSK with most of that title-winning core intact, and yet 30 plus crores to play with. So I think there's all the reason to believe that Sam Curran's record is under threat. And the bigger question to ask is, could we see the IPL's first ever 20 crore buy?